Right, guys, welcome back. This is the Above Average FPL podcast. My name's Adam, and as always, joined by Baker. Evening, mate.
Friday. Friday
Friday it
pod.
is. Yes. Yeah, been a bit of a delay this week. A lot going on work-wise, family stuff, illness, everything.
A game week.
And the game week. Because we were going to do something thought about doing something on Wednesday, but then kind of there was just so many games on. And to be honest, I think actually it would have been so chaotic that I think I'd have probably just ended up in tears, to be quite honest.
Yeah, you weren't the most happy you've been midweek.
No, no, no. And I mean, I guess on Thursday, woke up just thinking, just as long as Tottenham win, we'll be okay, and everything will be
Yeah,
fine. And then we put out that kind of performance,
it
and
was
it was a
bad.
bit
It
of
was
a
bad.
disaster. It was a bit of a disaster. But hello to everyone that's joined us on this beautiful. I say beautiful. It's not beautiful, is it? For a lot of people, it's not. It's horrific weather. But on this Friday evening, hope you're doing well. Shout out to everyone in the chat. I'm just trying to make sure it's working on X, so it's not working at the moment, but I will get it working while we're chatting. So hopefully
Yes, we have a storm on the cards,
we do.
which is always nice for the Friday night. That was the other thing about, obviously trying to pod midweek is just too much going on when even today it's a bit weird. It's like pressers. Normally there's loads and loads of updates, but not really because I'm not sure they're proper pressers. Like I really don't understand it. What's happening. But we're here. We're going to try and make sense of it. We need to discuss whether Salah is perma-cap for the rest of our lives. We need to discuss whether there will actually be a game tomorrow. We need to discuss, therefore, if there isn't a game, who do you cap? Work out if we're doing any transfers.
Yeah, that's all the stuff. That's all the stuff we've got to do. I mean, just to say, X is working, so that's amazing.
Oh,
So we are live everywhere. We are live everywhere, absolutely everywhere we were supposed to be. So welcome.
hi.
Questions in the chat already is like, what's the Friday evening drink of choice? So what's in your hand, mate?
So I don't normally have a drink when we do a midweek pod, but as it is, I was like, I should have a drink. But it's not a never say die. It's I can never say it. I think I've asked you to say it before. It's like Orchenta Shan,
Yeah, I don't know
but
what
it's
you're
not
talking about.
pronounced like that.
I don't
It's
know.
not pronounced like that. I think it's like Orkentistan, something like that. I don't know.
I have no
But it's a
idea, mate.
Scotch.
It's a Scotch.
It's a
Well, I'm
Scotch, but it's done in oak barrels. It's American oak barrels, so I'm allowed to have some ice in it.
yeah, fair enough. I've got like vodka orange just because I don't really drink
Vodka
whiskey.
orange. And what's that
But
glass again?
oh, that's a lovely above average FPL tumbler. Beauty.
Oh, let it down.
Oh, you have a little bit. Wow, I put a lot of vodka in that. Well, but I needed it. Oh, I needed it to be fair. Um,
Vitamin C too. Good for you with the
good
you
for
know
me with
sick
the
kids.
kids being ill. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we'll go through quickly what happened in game week 14. We'll give a quick league update, go through Patreon stuff, whiskey, all that good
Mm.
stuff. Talk a bit about the weather because Brits love talking about the weather. So we'll do that. Standard Rob T graphic comes up, normal caveats apply on that, and then go for our teams, and then we're good. I will also say that just in at any point, if my daughter does start something out there, you'll be chatting, and I'll be a few
To me.
minutes.
I'll be learning to pronounce whiskey. The dawdler says Ok en Toshen. Ok en Toshen.
Auchentoshan. Fair enough.
This one.
Auchentoshan.
This one. Yeah. Very long.
Oh yeah, Auchentoshan. Yeah, that makes sense.
There we
Yeah,
go. I'm
very
saying
good.
it every day.
Very good. Let's get to game week 14. Because yeah, I mean, as I said to you, I think you've had something like 80 points or 85 points on me in the last like 4 game weeks, or 70 points in the last 4 game weeks, and it's just been horrific. So I made 3 transfers. I brought in Mitoma, I brought in Saka, and I brought in Sanchez.
All seemed really good moves with really good fixtures this week.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to. I was going to leave Emmy, but obviously he got injured. I mean, I would have left Emmy, but he got injured, and I thought that I might get Johnston, but obviously that never happened. And so, yeah, made those transfers, took out Bruno, Boomo, and Emmy, obviously, and then end up with no keeper. So, I mean, I know,
And Emmy plays.
and Emmy plays. Like, how ridiculous is that? He was Were they
Sends a
talking about
picture of it, his hand
in
on
hospital
Insta in hospital
and then plays?
and then plays.
So yeah, so nothing from my keeper, but I mean, most weeks it's like one or two, so it's fine. Lewis didn't start, got a point. Porro didn't start, got a point. Davis was on my bench, came on for Gabriel, who was auto subbed off. I had
So
Salah,
Porro, Lewis, and Gabriel, like that's a really good back three. 2 points.
2 points, and yeah, and about 38 minutes combined as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then Salah, no cap. Cheers.
Hurts. Yeah.
So everything's painful. Saka 3, Matoma 2, and then Palmer cap. You know, in the 5
Dodges.
whatever, just dodges all the points. Wissa, Cunha, Solanke, whatever, 2 points each. Thanks very much. Rogers on the bench. Rogers first on the bench.
Yeah, that's about as bad as it. That's about as bad as it can work out.
Mate, 8.6 million game week rank. It's just terrible.
There was just nothing wrong there, and there was like the only person that performed over expected is the one guy you didn't want to perform over expected in Salah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's me. I'm down outside the top 2 million. I've played my triple captain. I've got no money. Like I'm poor. All this stuff. I mean, I say I'm poor, but I've moved a lot of players. I've moved like players that have risen out and stuff like that. But I still, I still look at my team compared to you, and I'm like, well, really, the only real difference is I've got Gabriel. I've got Lewis. No, I've got Porro. Sorry. It's like Porro Mikalenko versus Porro Mikalenko 8 Nori Davis type thing versus Wood Wissa, and that's it. Matoma Boomo. Like there's not much in it.
Well, it's just you flip the auto sub. Like you get Mikalenko and I get Porro. If you offer me beforehand, which one would you rather, Mikalenko or Porro? I'll have Porro, thanks, for example. Or even Leaf Davis. If you offer me Leaf Davis or Mikalenko, I'll probably be taking Leaf Davis. But yeah, it falls on my side. Mikalenko comes in on the auto sub for Gabriel. Makes a decent week. Yeah, so right. Yeah, for me, it's 70. But realistically,
the point in the season. It's definitely the point in the season where I start spiraling, isn't it? This is for me. This is my spiral side. And I remember this last year was I got to the point because it was 3 weeks after the Doku stuff last season. So I'm in that perfect spiral where I was down to like 4 million OR, and then I was just like, I'll just play boring for the next 10 weeks, and I did hate it. I don't really want to do it. But it feels like my team's already there.
Your team's already good, so therefore I don't know how much you can spiral with it.
And then I got angry and transferred out Solanke.
Well, I think that's fine. I think that's absolutely fine.
Mate, read out your team for last week.
Well, it is. I've just said it's 70 points, but realistically, it's Briar, Lewis, Nori, Mikalenko. But really, the points are Mikalenko, Palmer cap, Salah, Rogers, and a little Pedro assist. That's it.
FCA just fell off the wall.
Done enough.
It's done. It's done. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is.
So we're on to another one. 15.
Game week 15. Yes, mate. So league update because obviously we've got at the end of a game week. So top of the public league, the code is MGORK2, and that closes for new entries at the game week 19 deadline. So Alex Herculen, I probably pronounced that wrong. He's top, 1,027 points. I didn't see how that moved his rank, whether it was from like 5th to 6th or 5th to 4th or whatever, but must be tough up there. Chris Moss in second, 1,001 points. Jason Schwabe. I've seen Jason's name before in seasons gone by, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure I've seen Jason's name before. 998 points, third. Chris Costa in fourth, 996. And Ryder Busquenes is in fifth, 989. For those on YouTube, you can see the rest of the top 10. Sack of Potatoes, Yogesh, he's top of our Patreon league with 967 points. Los Poros Hermanos, Mark Brignall, second, 942. Richard Mellor, third, 940. Arwin is fourth with 922. And Antonis Antonopoulos is fifth with 919. Again, rest of the top 10. It's there for you guys on YouTube. So well done to everyone for your rank so far. I am so far behind you, it hurts. But
seeing people in 1,000 points is mad. But right, we'll go on to some perma Saka cap conversation about this, because look at this. top 10, both leagues, 100% captaincy on Palmer.
Hmm.
In fact, our whole Patreon Discord league, every single one of them capped Palmer this week. We all capped Palmer. And Salah was 150% owned. That's I don't. So we mostly lost to casuals this week. We did mostly lose to casuals. We lost to casuals, and we probably lost to the clever people that just know that Mo Salah's in such a ridiculous set of form that why not? And I think there were some people that maybe learned last week, because I didn't expect last weekend Mo Salah to be 150%. And when it came out, I was like, oh, but we know loads of people do play the EO game. We talked about it last weekend that people love this EO game.
I think that was it. I
And
think that was it though. I think Palmer and Salah were always going to be above 100, so it was kind of pick your poison. I think for that, and I also do use the content creators as kind of like a yardstick as well. And everyone captain Palmer apart from one person captain Salah, one person captain Jackson. That was it.
yeah, but these guys, if they did, they beat us.
Mm.
You look at any of your little mini leagues. I had a cup competition this weekend. I was, almost there through to the final, and I got knocked out by a guy that had Caicedo in his midfield. Perfect. He's made some transfers in game week 11. Before that, he made a transfer in game week 7. But guess what? He had Salah cap, got 72 points. Knocked me out. Um, it creates big decisions, this piece now, of I'm pretty sure that we've all worked enough on our teams that if we just permacap, we'll beat the casuals. Because the fringe of our team is better than the guys that are just leaving it on Salah.
Yeah, yeah, true.
But I don't know. I don't know if we do beat these guys if we try and fight them. Because we didn't this week.
Yeah, and I still don't think capping someone like Palmer is really fighting it. I think because they would have had 130%.
Not so much fighting it. So wrong word. You're opening up opportunity. You're opening up opportunity.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I mean, I get what you mean.
If you were in a matchup, a one-on-one matchup with someone,
yeah, you'd cap Salah because you'd
and
back
you knew
yourself,
the rest of your
yourself,
squad was better.
Yeah, you'd back yourself around. You'd back yourself all around apart from the cap, which taps
You just
into
knock
the
it out of the
highest.
equation, don't you?
Yeah, you just hide away from that massive piece of variance that's there.
Yeah, in the game of chess, you'd be like that. Well, the queen and queen, they're all covered.
Yeah, that's it. If you're
Let's
the better
keep
chess
those.
player, if you're a miles better chess player than your opponent, you'll just take their queen, even if you sacrifice yours, because you know that everything else you can deal with.
No, you're not exposing your queen under no circumstances.
Well,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that as well.
In that sense, and so there is that part of this of whether you want to be brave on this, but there is a safe play in that sense. But it doesn't necessarily. It's not like giving in. Like it's literally, is you can do it two ways. You can either go right. I'll try and beat the house here,
Yeah,
by going against it. And in every single week at the moment, there is options.
yeah,
And those options have such big ownerships, or such little ownerships. Actually, that was the one big thing about about Palmer this week. Sorry, if he had gone big, wasn't it incredible when you saw it was like 110% owned?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If Haaland in the 30s,
Yeah. For anyone that owns Haaland, if you capping him, it's you're getting monster gains off everything.
capping him at Palace.
Yeah, feels fine. Yeah, it feels fine. We're getting some complaints in the chat. I'm just having a look at the chat. No one has noticed before that the stadium moves in the background of our graphic.
Oh yeah, it does move.
It's amazing.
Move on to the
No, but
fixtures.
it's every single one. No, we can't do the fixtures yet. We got to talk about the Patreon. So if you want to join the Patreon, it's 50% off until Christmas for your first month. Patreon.com/above average FPL. So if you want to do that, feel free, go ahead. We had 3 or 4 people join in November. So shout out to you, to Do You See Me Winning, to Eaton, to Hector Isaac, and to David Newell. Thank you for joining us in there. Hope you're enjoying the games that we're playing and the chat that's going on. And of course, December's Beat Baker for Never Say Die Whiskey. If you're living in the UK, you're on our Patreon, and you beat Baker in the month of December, you go into a draw for a bottle of Never Say Die Whiskey. And we've had confirmation.
We had an email from the CEO saying that he wants to give us a bottle for every month for the rest of the year. So
there you go. So it was going to run out, but they've kept us moving. They've kept us going. We're still in the game. So that will happen every single month this season. So if you want to join Patreon this month for £1 or something like that, or £1.50 or whatever it is, and then you can have the opportunity to beat Baker every month and win a £80 bottle of whiskey. I mean, go for it.
and there's about like a 25% chance that you get it. Because like we've only got about 80 or 70, 80 people in our Patreon, and not all of them in the UK, and someone has to win it every month. And once
you've won it, you can't win it again. So
this season,
this season. So
good opportunities.
Definitely, mate. Definitely.
Obviously, got to beat me. Maybe I'll be.
It's true. 70 points. 70 points is a good start, mate. I definitely won't be beating you this month. No, I would never win a bottle of whiskey.
Early days.
Yeah, we'll see. Right, game week 15. This is the story. Welcome to the Met Office website. So yes, it's a bit windy in Wales and Northern Ireland. I assume it's pretty wet and windy in Ireland as well, but they just obviously don't show that because it's UK only.
Windy in Ireland.
But yeah, it's wet. It's windy. 80-mile-an-hour winds or something.
Yep. Spy on Cop has just tweeted the decision to be made from 8 a.m. onwards, great, in the morning about whether the Everton versus Liverpool derby game goes ahead tomorrow.
It's one of those where, because it's a derby and because it's, I'm just trying to work out how much travelling is involved. Because I know there are obviously a bunch of Liverpool fans all over the country, but they really are concentrated up in that northwest.
And it's harder to get tickets from afar, from if you don't go regularly to these games. So the away fans will probably almost all be local. I mean, there will be, if they decide it's on, like nobody's not going.
Yeah.
It will be whether it's dangerous or not.
Yeah.
Goodison's old.
God, my kids are actually singing in the room next door. You can't hear that, can you?
No, I can't.
Okay. Christina Perri, 1,000 Years. But there we go. Yeah, so what do we do if it's off? I mean, that's the thing. Do we just... because it's more... I think it's more pertinent for... Because I'm not fussed about moving the captain around. I'm quite... That doesn't bother me so much.
Well, let's just say it's on. But we get pictures that are crappy pitch. Looks horrific. The actual conditions look horrific. Everything looks horrible. But it's on.
Mm-hmm.
That first, does that alter your opinion on Salah's captaincy?
No, because it's Salah versus Mikalenko.
Fair.
Straight doesn't matter.
Fair. Yeah. Gotta stay on brand.
Yeah. It's Saka versus Mikalenko. It's Salah versus Mikalenko.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
Yeah.
I'll go with that. So if the game is on,
it's Salah cap.
It's Salah cap.
No question.
We have a decision to make, me and you. What if it's not on?
Saka.
Saka.
Done. I'm not touching Palmer. No chance. You've got no chance of me capping Palmer. I don't care. You can't put any words to me there that says to me that, like, we got beaten by Ipswich and the fans went absolutely batshit crazy, right? And then we went and turned City over 4-0. Like, we've just gone down to Bournemouth and it was miserable down there. Like, no one was happy with what happened down there.
We're tired.
We are a bit tired, but again, you don't know what Tottenham's going to turn up. Like, Tottenham could turn up and win 3-0. And I don't think, and whilst it would feel like a bit of a surprise, I think when you look back on it, you might go, actually, well, Spurs can do that.
It's the same with Man City, wasn't it?
For the record, I don't expect us to do that.
No.
I'm not saying sitting
And
here
I'm
saying,
going.
yeah.
Um,
But
it's horrible.
I'm Saka.
I need
I'm
this game
benching
on
Porro.
because
Yeah, I'm benching Porro.
yeah.
That's a done.
So for Tottenham, we're Romero was due to train today. That was the thing, and due to train tomorrow. I don't know if we'll get anything before deadline that gives us an indication of whether Romero has or is able to train.
Yeah.
That's that's the first thing. But like if Romero is back, then obviously that's a bit. If Romero's not, then the likely centre back partnership is Dragusin and Archie Gray.
Yeah, it's weak.
It's
It's pretty weak.
it's pretty weak.
But then it needs to be. Well, I mean, it's going to be Biss and
And Biz was horrific.
I know, but it still needs to be Biss and someone else that's defend. Like who else would sit in there? Because Sarr doesn't sit. Sarr just
It's
runs.
going to be Bissar and Madison in midfield. I'm almost certain of that.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised. I mean, it might be Bissar and Kulusevski.
Yeah.
But
There's a lot of people saying, yeah, Tottenham are losing. Let's be real. Yeah. I mean, look, you cannot.
every single person who's saying this right now also said we were losing to Man City and getting absolutely hammered, and we won 4-0.
This is also true. And we're not saying we're not sitting here saying Tottenham are going to win the game. Let's just be clear about that.
The bit with Tottenham, and it's not like it's 50-50. You wouldn't be surprised if Tottenham lost 5-0, and you wouldn't be surprised if Tottenham scored 3.
Yeah. So let's move away from the Spurs chat.
Because Southampton could also have put a number of goals past Chelsea the other night. A significant number of goals they could have put past them the other night.
So it is possible.
It is possible, but it was rank.
So what if it is cancelled? So this is what Krellin's already said. We've already had it. It's already
We're there.
The wheels are turning. The wheels are turning on the doubles discussions. A bit disappointed didn't see Andy Martin's weather report this week. Maybe it's because it's on Blue Sky rather than X. But Ben says there's a decent chance of Everton and Liverpool being postponed tomorrow due to severe winds. We have the same information. Like it's a decent chance. The earliest it can be rescheduled is the 1st of Jan. Is January the 1st in game week 19, as both teams don't have a fixture in that midweek, but that's probably unlikely due to the short notice and busy festive schedule. Makes perfect sense. If you want an extra mini double game week, outside of the expected double game weeks, then you should root for the game to be postponed and then Liverpool to reach the EFL Cup final, in which case Everton versus Liverpool will most likely move to game week 25. That's because obviously Everton would not be in the EFL Cup final.
Yep.
If Everton and Liverpool is postponed and Liverpool don't reach the EFL Cup final, then the fixture would likely move to game week 33 when at least 4 other teams will likely have a double game week. So that's where we are at the start. That's where we sit right now.
So we sit. So if you've got a triple captain in hand, you kind of want it postponed.
Yeah, I really want it to be played.
Yeah. If you don't, you want it to be played.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's look at what we got.
Yeah, cool. So as we do that, if you do enjoy what we're doing, make sure you do drop a like on the video. There are 376 people or something like that on YouTube, and just double checking now how many we got.
273 I've got.
Okay, I got 376. I can't see us on X anymore. I did see us on X,
Maybe.
but I can't see us anymore. But we've got a few there anyway. So shout out to everyone that's joined us.
I've got 607 actually. Watching us on X.
Yeah, so I've got 986 total. Decent.
There you go.
That's good.
Wow.
Right, I'm gonna just nip over to Rob T. I'm gonna mute myself and I'm gonna go and tell these children to go to sleep, while you explain to everyone what the graphic actually means.
Perfect. So, game week 15. As always, we look for the teams that are predicted to have over 2 goals. There's quite a few. And when you sort of add in the teams that are like 1.8, 1.9, there's a lot. Liverpool predicted obviously 2.2. Villa with the highest projection of 2.35. We've got City at 2.05. We've got Arsenal at 2. We've got Brighton at 2.1. And then we've got, I mean, the Tottenham Chelsea game, as we've talked about, it really could be anything, but it probably is goals. It's currently predicted to have 3.7 goals in that game, 1.8 to Tottenham, 1.9 to Chelsea. I don't see it being a 2-all. In fact, I think actually I'd expect it to be more than 4 goals between it. Others, Bournemouth away at Ipswich 1.7, Man United 1.9. Brentford and Newcastle is like the mini version of Tottenham Chelsea this week in all of the goals. That's 1.55 versus 1.65. Bear in mind that game last season, in May, so not that long ago, was 4-2 to Newcastle at Brentford. So goals. Goals, goals, goals.
What, like
Best
there's lots of them
chance we've
there.
got. Yeah, the best chance we've got of a clean is obviously 40% Liverpool. Other than that, no one else in that range.
But there's so many. There's so many that 35 and up. There's more than normal. Like 4 is pretty good
It's still 1 in 3
for a
chance.
game week, though. For a game week,
It's still a 1 in 3 chance, though, isn't it?
yeah. But if you had a defender from each of those, you'd expect 1 clean.
Wow.
Simple probability.
Living the dream.
1 clean's good, mate. one clean feels really
I
good.
know. I know.
I'm saying that to a guy who just jammed in Mikalenko, but like
Every
clean's
week
good.
there's something. Every week there's something. But yeah, it's difficult. I think obviously yes. If you've got City, Arsenal, Brighton, Man United, or Liverpool, or even Villa defence, you're playing this week. You're playing.
Mhm.
If you're like me and you have Ait Nori, you still play him because you play him every week, even though he gets 0 points every week. That's what you do. Um, Rico Lewis is interesting. You kind of got to play him, but so the news on that. So Akanji trained today, so it could very well be Vardiol, Diaz, Akanji, Walker. No, Mr. Lewis again. Problem is, if Mr. Lewis doesn't start, he comes on.
He is the worst kind of 4.5. He is because
It's
of
the
that.
worst kind of
It's,
4.5.
I just hate
Now,
playing him.
after I think it's after this week, we do have a little run coming up where continuously Man City are the early game. So at least with Lewis, if you do keep him, we might start to learn a little bit more. So not next week, but in game week 17, early game. In game week 18, where are Man City now? Game week 18. Yes, early game. Game week 19, early game. Game week 20, first, no, not early game, but Saturday games at least. So we have guys that will spend either early game or Saturday game.
Yeah.
So there is chance if you keep Rico, we might get some leaks on it, but it's not fun.
So I can bench him. So I can bench him if I want. That's great.
I think if you've got the team to bench him, you bench him.
Yeah.
I think if you haven't, you got to play him. Like looking at this, do you play him when he's a risk over players like Hall, for example, at Brentford? Do you play him over Ainori? I think you do.
I mean, I think you do. If you, yeah, I mean, if he and that's it. If he's going to start, if we get something that says he's going to start, which I think is it 5:30 that game? I guess it is.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to get anything. That's the thing. We're just not going to get anything from it. Especially if the Everton Liverpool game's still on. We're not getting anything. There's no chance.
Yeah, that's a good point. That if the game's off,
Yeah, deadline will move. Deadline has to move.
deadline moves.
It moves to 1:30. It has to. So we might
It's
get
a
something.
it's a Man City's 3 o'clock game.
Oh, even better.
Oh, hello,
So if it's 3 o'clock and it's a 1:30 deadline and we get a postponement, then we'll know. Like we'll almost
hello.
certainly know. That's when it starts to get interesting.
That is when it starts to get interesting.
Yeah.
Very good point.
We will be fine if that happens. We all know something.
Um, but yes, well, no. Oh, talking of the cancelled games, I didn't mention it earlier, but a good friend of ours, Joe, is getting married tomorrow in Wales for the Storm.
Poor Joe. I mean, best of luck,
Poor
Joe.
Joe. Best of luck, Joe.
Yeah, and I mean, just
We
get
ain't coming.
no, just get the best photos you can inside, mate. Just get the best photos you can inside. Stay warm.
All
Drink
inside.
drink some wine. Drink some champagne. Enjoy the day. And if you are watching
Yeah.
this, let the photographer do everything. Let the photographer tell you what to do. That's the best advice I was ever given, and the day went
He's
perfect.
got two best men, and they're both coming over tonight. I wonder how much they'll do him over.
Yeah, probably. Probably. Good
Yeah,
luck
yeah.
with that one.
Anyway, so is the best cap if you haven't got Mo Salah or Mo Salah's not playing? Is it Ollie Watkins?
It probably is Ollie Watkins if you've got him. It probably is Ollie Watkins if you've got him. I think that feels like the best option. But
My only thing with him is that obviously Villa play in Europe on Tuesday.
yeah, but I think yeah, they do like the thing is because they'll just win the ball up high and he'll win. You know how simple Southampton give goals away. It is. He's probably the best cap. I see Fran just shouting Erling in the chat. Yeah, it's all very good, but like a load of us don't have him anymore, mate. So we can't
Yeah,
count
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Like, it's all very well shouting Erling. Erling Haaland is a very good captain option this week, and people that own Erling Haaland and cap him, presuming that the Liverpool game's off, I feel will get a lot of points.
Just if you've got Erling, right, just play out in your brain what you will do in this game if Salah is called off and you captain Erling and Palmer scores a hat trick and Haaland blanks. Just play out in your brain psychologically how that will affect you because you've already been beaten for a long time recently in that pain. Because everybody else that doesn't have Haaland, which is the majority of people now, the majority of people are literally going to just go to the person they all have. And the person everybody all has is Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
And the team he's playing is pretty bad defensively. So Palmer is going to be like, if that game's off, Palmer's going to be 170, 180
Yeah, it's going to be.
comfortably.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
I think it would tilt me beyond any kind of reason. But hey, you're a stoic person if you've managed to keep him going this long. I think that yeah, but nothing wrong with him as a cap.
What if you captain Palmer and Haaland scores a hat trick?
We
Well, I
shouldn't
mean,
ignore though that
doesn't.
Crystal Palace have been a far more effective defense recently than Man City have. Like
There
Crystal
is that,
Palace are
but still, like
stinking games up.
it's not gonna hurt, right? Is it? It's not gonna hurt if Haaland. It's not gonna hurt too much if Haaland scores a hat trick, and let's say Palmer gets an assist. Your effective points are about the same. If you
But
don't own one and don't do own the other.
Newcastle just made best defense in the world. Liverpool look bad defensively. This is the same Newcastle that went to Palace the week before and had one shot in the entire game.
Yeah, this season's bizarre, man.
It's not unheard of that Palace win this.
Yeah. Wow.
Um,
I'm not. I think. No, okay, yeah, fine. It's not unheard of. I don't think it is. Of
if
course,
we
it's not. Of
didn't
course, it's not.
sport Spurs, honestly, if you said to me like, "Do I back Haaland over back Palmer?" I'd be like, "Back Palmer, thanks very much."
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So would. So would. The
It
fact that
really.
he came off, he's had a little, he's not as tired as we are.
You've spoken about this already, maybe, but this Brentford number feels weird to me. This Brentford Newcastle number
Tool.
feels
Does it
weird.
feel like a tool game? It
I
feels
mean,
like a
it could
tool
be a
game.
tool. I know. I think I maybe just sat down when you were talking about the last time they played together, played against in May. It was like 4-2. I mean, I'll take that. Well, I say I'll take that. I'm probably benching Wissa. So that's one of the that's like one of the benching conundrums that I've got. Like, would you bench
Oh,
Boomo? Would you bench? I mean, would you sell Boomo this week? Would you?
I look. I think Boomo, if you've got the options, great. But and I think Boomo to Bowen is a good move. Is a good move this week. If that's where you think you're going to go, but it's only good if you think that Bowen is the person you want.
It's a trap. It's a trap.
I know I'm saying it, but I watched him the other night and I'm like, is he less of a trap? Because his corners were really good from the right side. So if we think about it and compare it to Bumo, open play, more chances. Taking set pieces, Bowen's taking them.
Mhm.
Paqueta isn't very good at the moment. Like he can't guarantee that Paqueta's on the pitch anymore, anywhere near as much as what he was, which might mean Bowen's on pens. You know,
Maybe.
there is all sorts of stuff that's and he's playing Wolves. So if you said to me, look, I've got a couple of transfers in the bank, I'm all fine, there's no issues, I want to go there, I think go there. Like if you offered me which one do I fancy most this week, Bowen, yeah. But do I think Boomo's terrible this week? I still don't. I still look at it and go, well, like I'm currently going to play Boomo over Chris Wood. As you talked about last week to me, you said Chris Wood, who I benched last week, you said they're predicted to get 0.7 XG. It'll probably all go to Chris Wood. And guess what? He had a one-on-one and he missed it.
Yeah.
Well, this one, he's almost projected to get two one-on-ones against Man United. Still like Boomo. Because Brentford at home.
I mean, I really don't like Boomer. I mean, I sold him, but like right now, I just don't like it.
No, I think he's an easy sell. Matoma, for example, you've got, if you fancy that for the long run. It's good. And also these guys, well, Matoma, for example, was cheaper, isn't he? So it gives you some money.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm I'm thinking about Gordon next week. I think watching Leicester the other night, I thought Leicester were just, well, they're fun. And I think I prefer Gordon next week if I was to go for a Boomer replacement. And I'm almost willing to go Gordon. And Gordon's got three really, really good weeks. My issue on Newcastle is always trust. But this week, key passes, shots, goals, everything you
Yeah.
could possibly
Ticks the
want from
boxes.
someone, ticks all the boxes. If you said to me, Brent, Boomo at home this week, and then 3 weeks of Gordon, I kind of like that more than I think I like Bowen at the moment.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Um,
That's fair. And
that's why
I'm only really messing on Bowen. I mean, like how he didn't get like 15, 20 points last week against last
he was
week.
better than we expected him to be.
Yeah, true. This is true. He was much better. He had like 1.4 XGI or something like that. Was that
But
0.9 XG, 0.5 XA or something? Or maybe the other way around.
but like my other feeling is
It's
does
also
it
Leicester.
matter? Because they conceded 30 shots, Leicester.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
The quality of the
yeah,
chances that they had was significantly lower.
it was the opposition. The opposition gave him all. Wolves will do the same. But then once you've done Leicester and Wolves, you don't get to play Leicester and Wolves again.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So you get yeah. So it was kind of last week's
Yeah,
punt if you could.
but
You got any
like
others we want to cover? But we haven't really spoken about Arsenal at all here.
no,
Like I still feel
I,
comfortable having I mean like I said I was going to cap Saka. I still feel fine with that. Because out of that if it is going to be something of a 2xG game for them,
yeah,
I do expect him to be minimum involved in one return. And so
I
I'm quite comfortable there when others I wouldn't be too sure of. I don't really have any Villa coverage, but I'm not capping Morgan Rogers, so that's not a thing.
no,
I'm not capping anyone from Brighton, and I do not want to cap Palmer, even though everything says I
no.
probably should.
Shit. So the Saka one, my bit that I don't like is that Fulham beat them there last season. Um, at Fulham, London derby, small ground, they can be really frustrating. They're a good team.
I mean they've
Um,
just battered Brighton as well.
they're good, and he's really good in bigger games. Like there's almost like the harder the opposition, it feels like he turns up. At home, I don't think this is an easy game. I see a lot of people looking at, obviously, people look at Timber because of it's got Timber's a great pick, full stop. But do I think he's like a slam dunk this week on a clean? I don't, I don't know.
I mean, what do you make of like? Because obviously,
Especially
like,
not if Gabriel's not there. If it's Kyrgios at the back,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Is anything? I mean, we never get anything from Arteta anyway, so it's very unlikely we'll find out. Or we have found out anything.
mm, sounded like he was training inside.
It's just shit
But
weather.
it's Arteta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get from. Um, but yeah, I think Saka's just a great asset. I do think you expected 2 goals. Likelihood of him having some involvement is still always good. Likelihood of there is still, I do feel always like a likelihood that they could give away a pen or something, Fulham. They do have those kind of guys, whether it's Tete or Castagna, Anthony, Bassi, these guys. I'm like, I, I do fancy there's a chance they could get a pen.
Do you think Raul comes back in just as an additional threat from
I
set
think
pieces,
so.
just to give him a bit more stability at the back for that kind of thing as well? Because Arsenal
I think
obviously
so.
will obviously just hammer them down. And you think about you think like Harry Wilson and Smith Rowe, like these boys are not getting involved with the Gabriels and Salibras of this world. It's literally like Anderson and Bassi versus the world, isn't it? Really,
Yeah, Reece Nelson couldn't. I don't think he can play anyway because he's on loan, isn't he?
partner clubs, yeah, parent club.
But he did his hammy as well the other
Okay,
night, so that probably means that Adama comes back in,
that's fine.
and therefore you probably think Raul plays. It's like they come as a pair.
Mm.
Um, but you do think
I'm
with
just thinking
guys
like
like
Reece Nelson, Smith Rowe, Iwobi. It's never really. I never really just realised it's basically like Arsenal's
just
reject
like
team, isn't
Arsenal
it?
boys.
Basically
I mean,
Arsenal's reject.
Iwobi was so good the other night. He is such a good player, Iwobi. Um, I just think all of them are they're just a great unit, and therefore I I really don't like a cap away at Fulham.
They're all away.
They're all away,
They're all away. That's and that's why.
apart from
I mean,
Ollie.
apart from Ollie and somebody's mentioned, I think who was it? Was it probably Flappy or something? Like, would you cap Bruno
Bowen's
Fernandez?
not a bad
JC
cap, you know.
Bowen's probably not bad. Like, would you cap Bruno if you still had him?
No,
You couldn't do that. Still, while they're still messing around with
he's still
lineups
trying
and
to work
stuff.
out where he's going to play. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know about you, but did you watch the United Arsenal game the other night?
little
I
bits, not
genuinely
loads.
realised that Bruno was playing on about 70 minutes when I saw him in the back of in like the back of a screenshot, or like as they were showing a replay of a shot. I was like, oh yeah, Bruno's playing in this game.
Yeah.
It's just like he wasn't in the game at all. Like they just nullified all existence of him. Um, it's a tough game that for both sides. I think Forest Man United again. I think it's a hard call. Um, every argument that Forest can get the win there, they'll be looking for it. Um, they're really hard to predict. All these games are really hard to
This
predict,
is
but
so
they look
tough, isn't
like
it?
goals. Even João Pedro, you think, well, he's probably playing number 9 again if Welbeck's out, but who knows? Jorginho,
He
maybe he
might
comes
just
back
play
in.
Rooter up there. Yeah, he might just play Rooter in there, and
Mind you, Dingber was pretty bad, I thought, like, on the week, so I'd
that's like the
imagine he just
second.
goes.
That's like the second time he's been bad though. Like,
Yeah,
how many
you'd
times are you
imagine
going to
just
stick him in? Like,
Jorginho goes back out there.
Is Minter not just ready? Isn't he like there?
It's weird.
It is so weird because I know fair enough he's injured, but he must be doing something wrong in training or something like that if he's fit and ready to go, but he's not playing.
Yeah,
Because literally, Ted Knutson said that he was basically like the second coming of Salah.
yeah. I mean, he's still young, he's still fresh to the
Of
league. They do
course,
this, don't they?
but it's
They
still
spent
fresh
a
to
lot
the
of
league.
money
But
on Gruder as well.
yeah, but he's played about 500 minutes.
Yeah, but Gruder's played even less. They paid
Yeah,
even more money for him,
yeah,
I think.
yeah. FPL Spartan says the cartel will decide whether Everton Liverpool is on off, not Merseyside, please. We'll see. Hopefully, it gets called off. Is it? Are my
Do you want it
curtains
off?
also moving? Yeah, they are.
Do
Do
you
I
want it
want it
off?
off? No, not really, because I've got Salah and I have not got my triple captainship. So the less double game weeks, the better, because I can justify it.
Mm. It's just that so many people will have that captaincy like on Salah that are just missing game weeks at the moment. Kills the zombies. If nothing else.
That is true. That is true. Actually, it does screw up a few. Brings in a
Yeah,
few
it does screw up
Barclays.
a load of people that aren't necessarily that engaged or busy on Saturday morning, don't really get it. Um, it could mess some people up,
Yeah.
but it does force a big old decision for your cap.
Shall we have a look at teams?
Yeah, go on then. You'll go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. No problem at all. I've already done Solanke to João Pedro. I will not repeat what I said on Twitter because my kids can probably still hear me. But just you can just go check X. You can see what I said. So Sanchez in goal. So I've got Lewis, Porro. Porro's like I'm not sure. I mean, it's really weird actually because I've got like Leif Davis, who I don't really want to play against Bournemouth, but I kind of do. I guess it depends on Lewis. I don't really want to play Porro because it's against Chelsea, and then I've got Gabriel, who I don't even know if is fit. So that's perfect.
Mm.
And then I've got Salah Cap, Saka Vice, Mitoma, Palmer, and Rogers. Cunha and João Pedro up top. Wissa first sub. So obviously he would come in if Salah doesn't play, which actually, like, I think I'd probably feel better about that.
Yeah, I think you're in a good spot for the game to be off.
Yeah. So Wissa comes in, and then like Davis, Lewis, Hall, Pedro. I don't really want Wissa versus Hall, but ultimately, if I have to, I have to. Yeah, that's where
Yeah,
I am. I've got 2 million in the bank.
If Gabriel was injured, Salah gets cancelled, and Lewis doesn't. Well, he'll probably come off the bench anyway, or whatever. So,
Yeah.
but even if you got Davis and Wissa in for the carnage it causes elsewhere, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Johnston versus Bob Sanchez?
Johnston doesn't play football. Sanchez does play football. I think that's probably
But what
right.
if he does?
I still
What
don't.
if he does?
Well. I mean, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I'm not really. Yeah, if he does, I still think he's conceding. So it's probably not worth it.
Fair.
Like, it doesn't really matter.
It's fair, yeah.
Doesn't really matter. Again, this is my 0 point. This is another 0.4.
And we hate Tottenham.
And we hate Tottenham. Yeah, we hate Tottenham.
It's fair.
We do hate Tottenham. Yeah, and I mean, look, I say I've got 2 million in the bank now. I looked at a few people's. Like, you sent a tweet out sending like I'm at 103.7 million. I was like, well, just let me have a look. I've got 102 million. So remember when we were talking about the difference between owning Salah and Haaland, and you say, oh, it's 2.5 million. Where else could you put that? I've already lost that on a load of teams.
You say it. But basically, as you know, I've had a really good month. So what's also happened is the players that have contributed to that are those players.
And you've only got half the
So,
value in them, really.
and I've only got half the value in them.
Yeah.
So it sounds a lot better than it actually is because when you look at it,
This is
in a
what I want
couple of
people to
weeks,
do. This is what I want people to do is when they quote their team value, what I actually
take them
want
all
them to
out.
do is just take all your players out and then quote your team value because that's what you can spend.
Because the second I take, so I'm like, well, Boomo's 7.7 million and Gordon's 7.2. But when I sell Boomo, he won't even be 7.4 because that's what he is right now for me. He'll go down by the time I sell him. So he'll actually be 7.3 when I sell him.
Yeah.
So bang, there's like 0.4 of a million gone. Yeah. Then you've got players like, obviously I've got Ben Saka, but Ain't Nori. I've got 500,000 gained in Ain't Nori. But I lose 0.3 the second I sell him. So he's gone. You're not jealous of that 0.5 that I've got in there. You're looking at it and saying, would I swap Ain't Nori for Hall? Yes. It's going to cost me the same money. So it does sound like it with a lot of these ones, but it's not quite as true as it sounds. When Ain't Nori goes, and even Cunha, I might very well get rid of Cunha in 3 weeks' time. If someone puts their hand up that looks like the right player to do.
Yeah.
I've got 500,000 in him. I'm only getting 0.2 of it kept.
Yeah. It's true.
So suddenly, if I sell those three, it's over 1 million. It's just disappeared just like that. So it's not quite as exciting as it sounds.
Oh, okay. So you just tweeted it out for engagement, then? Is that what you did?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Bragging.
Yeah. Cool.
When you get green arrows and it looks like you get the price rises, you brag.
Sounds good. Let's look at your team.
Because if you don't brag, you just tilt.
This is true. This is true. I
We
haven't
just
bragged.
tilt
I
our
haven't bragged
accounts
for
if we
4
don't
weeks.
brag.
It's been a nightmare. Right, let's look at you. Let's look at your team.
I got decisions. I got a lot of decisions here. So, rising goal, that's done.
Locked.
Gabriel and Ait Nouri are playing. They're playing for me. I'm not looking to transfer them out. They're playing. If Gabriel doesn't work out, that's what it is. Palmer, Salah, Saka, Rogers, they're playing. Not moving away from them. Pedro, Cunha, playing. So it leaves me with Lewis, leaves me with Boomo. I've got Wood, Greaves, Mikalenko on the bench.
I mean, Mikalenko's a no-go, so let's just forget that one.
Yep. So if Salah didn't play, it would also mean no Mikalenko either.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
It would mean Wood.
That's it. You're in. You're locked.
It means Wood comes in.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm just assuming that Lewis, you're bringing him out when we find out he's not starting.
So Wood would come in for Salah. Greaves then has to cover both Gabriel and Lewis.
Yeah.
And Greaves, got back in for Burgess, but who knows? He's just come back from injury. Did he play 2 games in 4 days?
He got floored by Mateta the other day as well. Just got absolutely just absolutely turned inside out. Didn't look too fantastic.
There's a lot to work out, and I've got 2.8 in the bank. So earlier in the week, my plan was probably, despite him being so good to me, transferring Mikalenko to Trent.
Doesn't work if it's off though.
Doesn't work if he's off, and it doesn't fix the positions of Lewis and Ait Nouri. But if the game's on, and we get anything that suggests that Lewis is not starting, that's a possibility still. Mikalenko to Trent.
How much is Mikalenko then? Oh, 2.8. No, you got loads. That's fine.
Yeah, I've got enough.
Yeah.
I also have enough to do Wood to Isak, get him back, do my little hokey cokey. Isak to João Pedro, Wood back to Isak. I like Isak away at Brentford more than I like Wood away at Man United. And then I love the next 3 games.
Yeah.
I could also do Wood to Watkins. It would give me a captain option.
Yeah.
But not many people own. But I do think immediately after it, I'll be like, probably want to take you out now. I want Isak.
I just want Isak, please. So I think if you want Isak, I think if it's going to be next week, you want Isak. But I mean, are you thinking about maybe doubling up with Gordon?
I think I'm going to get 2 out of the 3 players out of Trent, Isak, and Gordon. Now, there's many different ways of doing 2 of those 3. There's an easy way, which is I skip Trent completely and just keep going on with this terrible defence. And I go Boomo to Gordon and Wood to Isak. Do 1 this week, 1 next week. Means no Trent. There's another way in which I go for Isak and Trent. Needs a hit because I'd also have to take Boomo down to a cheapo midfielder.
Yep.
So I can go that way. Or I can skip Isak, keep Wood. I still don't hate Wood as a pick. And I could bring in Mikalenko to Trent and do Boomo to Gordon. They're all there.
They're all there.
I probably like the Isak one best. Despite the fact that I've been there so many times already this season, and
the defender ones
I never really like it.
Yeah, the defender ones just feel. I mean, I know it is Trent, but the defender ones just feel so crap. Like I just don't feel good about a defender one. And the thing is I've been chasing points the last few weeks, which has probably been it was obviously been my downfall. I've been chasing around, trying to sort stuff out. But I still just don't like the defender transfer over it.
Yeah, and I'm in that position where maybe.
See, I'd be more inclined to take Lewis up to Trent rather than Mikalenko. As stupid as that sounds for me, right? Because Mikalenko starts, and that's a huge thing. And like, you're not going to play Mikalenko for the next 4 weeks. We know that, right? Because Everton's fixtures next 4 are absolutely horrific.
It's more than
Yeah,
that.
but minimum. You don't even want him to cover you in the next 4 weeks. Like
No.
after that, he can cover a benching or whatever. But
I think you've got something like home to Forest in 19 and then home to Leicester in 24. I think it's something like that over the next 10 weeks. Don't need it. Because
yeah, that's it. Forest, Bournemouth, Villa, Spurs, Brighton, and Leicester. Yeah, so it's a bit crap. That's obviously excluding the next four, which are Liverpool,
you're
Arsenal,
just not
Chelsea,
going to do
City,
it.
which he's not going to do.
Just not going to do it. But if with all those early games, every time we get a Lewis league, you play him. If you don't get a Lewis league, you don't. Seems
Yeah,
relatively easy with this one, especially with Greaves back. It just boosts that Lewis bit of saying, maybe I can just hang around with him. There's not much in it,
yeah, but
but he is
Greaves was
usable if he's
back.
off.
Greaves was back 2 games ago and didn't play him. Like I know he was just back from injury, but at some point when you set foot on that pitch, you are just back from injury. So you're either fit or you're not.
Yeah,
But wasn't he on
but
the
what
bench or something like that?
people don't tend to rotate the centre back. That's not they're going to play. They've got the biggest amount of break in this, but he was playing every time beforehand. But I've only got 3 more weeks of Eight Nori, and then he's dead to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I need another one. So if you keep Mikolenko and you keep Eight Nori, you're then like, well, now I've got 2 guys plus Greaves. I've got 3 guys now who I definitely don't want. You're just making it. You're pushing yourself into continuously having to do defensive transfers.
Yeah. I mean,
Whereas you could still get lucky on Lewis
yeah. And on that
because
subject, go on. Go on.
because you just think Walker's rubbish as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say on that subject, Chintan's dropped us a super chat. Shout out to Chintan. We do love you being around here, man. He says, "Good night, guys. Rico or Kirkes? I know it's Rico, but just wanted to say hi. Been a while. I mean, I don't think
it's Rico.
I don't think it's Rico all the time. There, to be honest. I mean, even this week.
No, I think if you don't get any news, you should play Kirkes.
I'd probably play Kirkes anyway this week.
Hold on.
I'd probably play Kirkes anyway this week.
And go back to your team and tell me why you're not playing Leif Davis over Rico Lewis.
Because they're playing because they're playing Bournemouth, whereas Kirkes is playing Ipswich
At home.
Yeah, they haven't won a single game at home, mate.
Yeah, it's a good point. But
they've won one away at Spurs, and that's it.
I think it's a problem, but as I said, there's every chance. If Lewis plays, I want him this week, and it will be that same way future. So I probably am going to keep him, despite the fact that I absolutely hate him.
Yeah.
It seems everything about it seems wrong, doesn't it? Mikolenko's treated me so nicely. Whenever I've had to chuck him in, he's done well for me. His points per appearance in my team is unbelievable.
You can't. I mean, yeah. Do you include the 11-pointer in that points per appearance?
It's still been nice to me.
You didn't chuck him in your team for that one, though. You can't claim the win for that.
I put him in front of Greaves.
You put him in front of Greaves.
There were a lot of people that did. There's quite a few people that moved Greaves in front of Mikolenko.
Ouch. I can't believe you're claiming that.
We can claim it. We can claim.
Fair enough.
Points in the bank.
Okay, right. That's everything from us, other than any questions anybody has. Because there's like 1,500 people watching, like over the 2 platforms, feel free just to ask any questions. If you're on X, just drop a comment. I'm supposed to be able to see both comments from X and from YouTube on the chat, but I can't see any comments from X because there haven't been any. Nobody's commenting, but that's fine. If anyone has any questions, or if you just want to just join us for a drink or something, we've got.
I know that you were obviously annoyed the other night, but have you actually seen Mikolenko's assist?
No, like no chance. No chance was I watching that.
I think you should watch it on stream.
To be honest, I saw. Hold on. Okay, fine. Let's grab the highlights from Sky Sports Premier League. So the only thing I know about it is it was there was conversation in the Discord, wasn't there? So the conversation in the Discord was if this was Trent Alexander-Arnold, it would have been like front page news # best player in the world type shit. Is what I read, right?
For Mikolenko.
Yeah, this is what.
So it'd be about a minute in because there was the first goal and then there's a disallowed goal and it's the second goal.
What the hell is this, man?
We're all just gonna sit and
I'm gonna
wait
sit and wait while I watch this
for
assist. It's gonna be the most.
Mikalenko's
I'm
assist.
not even gonna read any of the comments or anything like that. So where are we? I can't even find the game.
When you bear in mind, obviously, Rogers didn't get an assist for that one. I mean, I didn't think that was.
Didn't even see that. So
Um,
which goal is it?
It'd be the second goal, but it'll look like the third goal because the second goal was offside.
Okay. I saw the Ashley Young free kick. That was a nice free kick. I saw that.
It's a nice free kick.
It was a nice free kick.
Then there's a Tarkowski one.
And then I saw the Tarko header from Dwight McNeil, and then if the Mikalenko one, I'm assuming this. I mean,
it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be a 2-yard pass from like 60 yards out, isn't it?
Oh, it's so much worse.
God,
it's so much.
Oh,
worse.
Come on, get. I still got VAR on the screen here.
Do you ever see the old Jordan the Stallions TikToks?
No.
Do you ever watch any of those? Magnus and Jordan Stallion. But whenever he's making food and he likes it, he just rips off his glasses and he throws them. And I can imagine like your reaction would be similar to this when you see the if you had glasses on when you see the old Miko goal.
I don't even know if it's 2-0 or 3-0 at the moment. I'm a minute 40 in. Have I missed it?
You might have missed it.
Oh no, there it is. He's just hoofed it down to the right. Oh no, that's a missed chance. What the hell have I? Oh, that's Wolves. What am I doing?
Yeah, you might have missed it. For reference, he basically had a shot that was so bad that skewed off his foot that it rebounded around a bit and then fell and then got put in. But it was more in danger of being an own goal in his own net. It was such a bad shot.
Oh, I don't understand. I don't understand what you're saying.
So he tried to shoot. He was shooting so badly that it was never ever. Not only was it not going in, but it just hit enough people, but then fell to another player.
Whoa! I've just seen it. Hold on. hold on. Hold on. It's 8 yards wide.
8 yards wide.
It's 8 yards wide, and the defender's cleared it. Why is it an assist?
I don't know. Is it rebound shot?
Why is it bullshit rebound shot?
Rebound shot.
Didn't even get no. It's not a rebound shot.
That's a rebound shot assist.
That is not a rebound shot assist. They don't exist when they get blocked by defenders. That doesn't happen. It's only when keepers.
11 points. 11 points. It's a 5-point assist. It doesn't make any sense. Cheers. Is he gone?
No, mate, I wouldn't leave you like that.
I thought you'd actually left me.
How is that an assist? What?
Don't even know.
Oh my god. Anyway, okay. Right, questions.
Should I? That's my question. If I was to thinking that I was going to bring Isak in, would you bring Isak in and start him over Boomo?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Didn't need to think of that one.
Yeah. I commented on X, but came here because no one else was. Okay, you commented on X. Someone said. Go there.
Heather asks about thoughts on Munoz from game week 18. Yeah, so there's a few guys. This is my thing that's maybe the against Trent thing, but looking at those other guys, the Ricos, the Ain't Nuris, is Munoz from 18, Anthony Robinson from 17. I've got a really nice run of fixtures, and I am looking at both of those guys. Munoz and Robinson are definitely on my menu for defenders. Bench one of Rogers, Boomo, Wissa, and Cunha. Yeah, I'd bench Boomo in that case.
Rogers, Boomo or Wissa? Wissa. Yeah, bench Boomo. Yeah. Yeah, bench Boomo. For sure.
Another question about Kirk Ayres. Yeah, we like him.
I don't mind him at the moment.
I don't like him enough to buy him though. Would you start Brennan Johnson over any of the Rogers, Cunha, Evan Nelson, Jack? No.
No. Did you run out of players there? I didn't hear all of them, but yeah.
Just no. Just no.
No, just no. It's
Hey,
not even worth telling me the rest of the question. It's all just no.
I think Rockstar asked earlier about would you sell Haaland this week?
No. If I had him, I wouldn't sell him.
I don't think so.
All
No,
all the players are away. All the big players that you would buy into are away. Like they're
yeah.
all away. So
Unless you were
it's
going,
just a
unless you were
wrong.
really big on Watkins and you thought you could go there and that was the right way to go, but you've also got to spend the money in one go.
I mean,
But
maybe
like you
that
say,
is the make
people,
weight though. I suppose if you get the home Watkins and then you take like the away Saka or the away Palmer, then it might. If you get Palmer and Watkins, then maybe. But I think Palmer and Watkins is
everyone's
probably good
got
enough.
Palmer, so it's Saka in it. It's people that haven't got. It's
Yeah,
still
that's
people that
true.
haven't got Saka.
I wouldn't
So
do.
it'd be what?
No, I probably wouldn't do Saka. Saka and Watkins for Palmer and Saka,
For
Watkins
Haaland
for Haaland and whoever.
and a
pretty much.
Semenyo or a Rogers
Semenyo,
in it
yeah.
or a Smith Rowe or something like that.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
Would you be any of you part of you be tempted if you were? We can give the opposing view. Is do you think we're weaker against Palmer or Jackson for this game?
I'd probably say Jackson.
And we tried our hardest twice. We passed to Evan Nilsson. One obviously got offside for the goal, and the other
Yeah.
one was the goal effectively because we passed to it. He was 1 yard out, hits it straight into Fraser, who then they score from the corner.
And I think you'll find that Jackson will probably just be in a position where when we lose the ball, like when we make a stupid pass or
He's
something like
always
that,
going to be in it.
Jackson will be in a position where he's got 7, 8, 9 yards around him of space. And
Yeah,
if that ball falls to Palmer at the time, I think Palmer passes it. Like from 35
Yeah.
yards and Jackson's in 9 yards of space in the 18-yard box, he just passes it.
but if I had both of them, I'd still cap Palmer. Just
Our
would.
midfielders score more points, mate.
It feels to get more points, and we are penalties are due for us. Like we're going to do something stupid at some point. There was quite a few times Destiny was so close to giving away a penalty last night.
Yeah.
I think Madueke, if he's playing, will feast on him.
Yeah. Would you get Mo for a hit?
Yes.
Yeah.
If the game's on.
If the game's
yeah.
Yeah, Jackson scored 4 against. I mean, I put less and less weight on games from previous years than I have done in the past.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with that. 100% with that. We mention it all the time. We still mention it, but I don't think we should put a huge amount of weight on it. I think there's a lot of people saying like, Liverpool, their record away at Goodison's not that great, and I'm like, it's just not the same every year.
No,
Not when you've got two teams that are like opposing ends of the table.
Yeah,
it's not the same every year.
I'd also add that didn't he score 3 of those goals against 9 men? Good luck comparing that. Who we've been?
The Jackson hat trick. Yeah,
exactly. Who we even be playing centre back? So we're thinking like Dragoshin, Archie Gray, might be even Pedro Porro.
Yeah, we
Depends on
discussed
how
that.
How those two kind of work.
I'd be amazed. I'd genuinely be amazed if Romero's not fit.
Yeah. Would you bench Bruno or Mitoma?
Whoa.
I knew that. Yeah, I felt like that was going to be a tough one.
No, you can't bench anyone away at Leicester. Not after watching them the other night. You cannot bench a player away at Leicester.
You bench Bruno. Wow. Spurs going to play their defensive line in the Chelsea half again? Probably not. It's probably
Depends how many men we have.
Yeah, true. Gray was terrible. I mean, he's played like 450 minutes, so whatever. Start 8 Nori or Van Heck? Van Heck.
Yeah, for what it's worth, I was just checking out Neil from Scout as to what his predicted lineup is for Brighton. He's got them as a 4-4-2 with Lamptey, Van Heck, Dunk, Estupinan, Minter, Iari, Baliba, Matoma, and then Ruta and Pedro
up top.
I mean, that away at Leicester sounds fun as hell.
Yeah, Heather's asking, will Welbeck play? We don't think so.
We don't think so. Not that particular lineup.
No. Right, I think we should call it there. Kids are starting to cough and stuff, so I'm just going to make sure they're all right. I think we're now hour and 10 minutes, 1,500 people watching across 2 platforms. Thank you very much for joining us. If you're on YouTube and you haven't done so already, please make sure you do drop a like on the video. And if you want to see more from us, hit subscribe. If you're watching over on X, we'll try and do more over on X as well. But if you want to come over to YouTube, feel free. Or if you're listening back on
Well,
podcasts,
just come and
etc.
sub on YouTube anyway. Just give us the token effort. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we're
Token
9.1k. We want 10k for Christmas. Just give us
token sub on YouTube, and then you can just watch on X for as long as you
help
want.
the
It's fine.
algorithm. Like this game, this pod has got like 12 hours, not even 12, yeah, about 12 hours worth of usage out of it. Most of the UK will be asleep.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Like it,
It's
so
all it's
do
all for the
something nice for
US and
us.
for the guys in Asia and Australia that are waking up now, basically.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Right. Well, it's always a pleasure. We're going to do a pod on Monday this time round because
We are
you're at
doing a pod on
Spurs Chelsea.
Monday,
So we'll do our review on Monday. We will see you there, basically, I guess.
but we should have a guest.
We should have a guest. Yes. So looking forward
We
to
should
that.
have a guest to help us out. So as we are punishing you by not doing Sunday, we're back Monday, but with a friend.
Sounds good. Right, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you later. Good luck for
See you
game
later.
week 15. Is that what it is?
15.
15. Yeah. Good luck for game week 15. Cheers, guys.